tonight. Whales, amazing sunset, just, it's a pinch me moment, wasn't it?
G'day guys, welcome back. Prado 150 out of here. Good to see you guys. Well, I've just come back last night in fact. Got back in to Toowoomba about 10 o'clock last night from Fraser Island. First time I've been there. What an absolute awesome place. If it's not on your bucket list, write it down right now. Absolutely had a ball. Now if you've been watching my previous YouTube videos, poor old Prado, been subject to you know, a few things going on of late since I broke the knuckle on the passenger side of the front passenger side wheel. So it's finally been sorted, as you know, and I'll tell you what, this car did not let me down. It handled every single track on Fraser Island with absolutely no dramas. I love this thing. If you can love a car, Prado. Very underrated. So now got quite a bit of a footage to put together, which will be coming up later on of Fraser Island. I actually filled up my GoPro SD card first time for a long time. I think the only other time I filled that up was when we went to Cape York a number of years ago. So look, I'm going to be very busy doing that. I'm actually, as we speak, I'm actually going away tomorrow again. Poor Prado's going to be left at the airport at Brisbane. I'm taking a flight over to Perth. I've got family over there, so I am going to take you guys along and show you what a beautiful state WA is, and in particular Perth. So look, I'm going over there because, you know what it's like, bit of advice to you guys too, if you've got family in other parts of Australia, the world, whatever. I haven't seen my mum, I suppose, for a good 3 years. You know, COVID and everything has an effect on that. So when this goes out, I'm going to be over in WA making a surprise visit to my mum. My brother knows I'm coming, but my mum doesn't. So I'll take you along for that if you're interested in that, and see a look on her face. So while I'm there, I'm going to duck into iTech World. You would have seen me doing a bit of stuff on iTech World, and on that note, I've got to say that this electrical system, the iTech World battery, absolutely performed sensationally. Fraser Island, as you know, well, 100% for us, off-grid. I was lucky enough to take along a battery station from iTech World that they lent me to do some real life, I don't know, testing for a better way of saying it, using it in real life. And the type of camping that we did was we were obviously setting up at night or the afternoon, and we were going again the next day. So on that side of it, you know, you don't really have much time to set up your solar panel and charge things up. So, but I've got to say, it was remarkable for the time we were there, almost a week. My mate Mark, that you'll meet, he used that battery box to run his fridge at night. He had an angle fridge. I love my coffee. Every time I wanted a coffee, I boiled up the water in the kettle. And look, it just ran great, and I think on the last day you'll see too that I decided to do some cooking with it. And I actually had a bit of time towards the end of the trip there, before we came back, to just chillax, I suppose, and have that solar blanket out for a number of hours, both in the morning and in the afternoon. And I've got to say, I was absolutely impressed by how that thing worked. So anyway, so I'll be showing you a bit of that. And look, I just thought I'd take the time now, today, just to kind of give you a bit of an overview of my Fraser Island trip, and in particular in this Prado. So we did have a little bit of a, I don't know, something did happen, but I'm going to leave that for when you watch my video. So we did have a little problem with the Prado, not mechanically or anything like that, just something happened, and first time on a track I had to pull my tools out and rectify the situation. But you'll have to stay tuned for that one. So look, I think the main thing is that we ran our tyres probably starting at 20, you know, to go across inskip and that, and then I dropped them down to 15 when we hit Nagala Rocks. And the other thing that you've got to remember, I think, you know, your Hiluxes, your Land Cruisers and your Prados, some people think that when you hit that little squiggly button and your traction light TRC off comes up, that you think that you've turned your traction control off. But in actual fact, someone else that I came across later on in my trip had a Hilux, and actually it's on my Instagram post, so head on over to my Instagram post, and you've got to hold that button down for let's say 5 seconds to turn it off, and you'll see another light come up that says traction control off, basically. Yeah, so it does make a difference in soft sand, and that's what happened to this fella. So when I explained to him how to do it, he said it made a massive difference, particularly in that soft, you know, boggy sand. So that's Fraser Island. Look, first time I was there, absolutely amazed by it. It's a beautiful place to go, and obviously if you've got the time to go a bit longer, a long stint is better, because you're already up for the barge and the initial expenses, permits, beach permits, that kind of thing. So when you're actually there, whether you stay 4 nights, 6 nights, 2 weeks, it doesn't incrementally cost you a lot of money. It's quite cheap to stay there. And the other thing too is that I learned, don't try and do everything all at once in that one trip, which we didn't. We got a few of the main things done, but definitely there's so much more to see and do, which I'm keen to go there again. The weather wasn't all that flash hot. The first part of it was pretty much rainy, windy, blowing a gale, and thanks to my 270 bushwhacker awning from Bullies off-road, that was another amazing product that I used, and I'll show you that on my videos, particularly with the walls. So I've got 3 walls now, and I put them all up, and of course, where does everyone huddle around? Underneath my awning. So I was left not putting up my swag until later in the night, because we needed the room, you know, underneath. But in saying that, everything stayed dry, we stayed dry, we were able to have a good time and be protected, you know, from the elements with that awning. It's an amazing piece of kit, and it's certainly, I've done Pebbly Beach with it, that far worse weather in fact, and I've done Fraser with it. And so look, if you are in the market or you're wanting to get an awning of some sort, I would highly recommend the 270 awning. There's different styles depending on what you want. Got to know Dennis at Bullies Off-Road. He's a good bloke, and he's been kind enough to give me a discount code for any of my viewers that might want to purchase something from him. And that discount code, it's pretty hard. It's Prado 150 out. So yeah, if you're on his website and you're purchasing something, type in that code at checkout, and there'll be a bit of a discount happening. And look, I will reiterate, I only use stuff that I can show you guys honestly the quality and how they work in the field. You know, like, it's no point setting something up in your front yard in perfect weather and showing you how that works, because that's not real life. And that's what we've done. We've taken this out twice now in some pretty, you know, heavy conditions, and I've also used that battery box in real life, you know, situation, on the beach, blowing sand, you know, all that kind of stuff. And that's what I want to show you guys. And yeah, so it's been an awesome time. And like I said, I'm going to meet up with these guys at iTech World when I'm over in Perth, and I'm going to give you guys a bit of a tour as well, and just show you exactly what they're all about. And the one main thing for me is that they guarantee the battery under the bonnet of, well, in this case, of the Prado. So back to the Prado, it performed absolutely sensationally. I loved it, absolutely loved it. Absolutely no issues whatsoever. All the tracks it did. I took Ruben's recovery bag from DMW. It actually was a pain because I had to pull it out every time I was shuffling things around in the back. And I don't mean that negatively. I mean to say that I didn't have to use one thing out of that little bag, which is, you know, good for me, good for the Prado. And of course it's insurance. Same with the Max Tracks. You know, 4 of them on the roof. Actually, sorry, 2 Max Tracks and 2 treads on the roof. Their insurance, isn't it? You know, like, it's there if you need it, and hopefully you don't need it. So what do you do when you come back from a trip like that, where you're pretty much living on the beach? You hear my sprinkler going, so I've got a wobbly T sprinkler. It's just going underneath the car to get rid of a whole lot of stuff. I will take this up to the car wash and give it a really good high pressure spray, but just for now in my front yard I just thought I'd put the sprinkler underneath and try and get all that salt and sand. You know, I've still got sand in the grooves of my tyres since Fraser all the way to Toowoomba. There's still sand in the tyres. Isn't that funny, eh? So look, I'm going to be extremely busy over the next few weeks. So I'll be putting the Fraser Island trip together, and I'm going to Perth tomorrow, actually flying out tomorrow, and I'm going to, you know, be doing some filming there. Then I'll be putting it all together. So this video was just to let you know what I'm up to, and that's what's going to be coming up. So take the time, go over some of my previous videos. You know, look up that traction control. It's a fairly short video and it'll show you exactly what to do. I've got another one on actual traction control, you know, going up a track, what it's like with it on and what it's like when you turn it off. And you'll see how it works. So you'll see that you don't want traction control working on, you know, on the beach. So the fridge, the upright fridge, it is from King's. It's been working a treat 24/7, running perfectly. Yeah, the lithium battery with combined with, in this case, the Red Arc BC-DC charger. Once that car was started every day, you know, I think I was getting it down to, I don't know, 80-70%, bang. It was just 100% very, very shortly after, you know, driving. A bit of a trick I learned with the battery station, the iTech World. Now I've got an Anderson plug on the back, straight from my auxiliary battery. So what I did was just basically transferred some power from that lithium battery into the battery box. So I just plugged the plug into the back there, and it was, you know, putting in 100 watts. So I just let that go for a couple of hours. Sometimes that would drain my iTech World battery down to about 60%, but you know, the next morning you started the car and you're running. Just absolutely threw that back in with no dramas at all. So guys, make sure you get out there. If you got family, you got kids. Joshua and Penny went with me on this trip, and we absolutely just had a ball. He's got the BT50, and it was just amazing getting down to the beach again a great time. So yeah, so that's what's coming up next. We've got to take the caravan out again and venture further afield. And look, initially I went, oh, I'm not taking the brand new cross track to Fraser Island, but after being there and seeing everything, if you get those tides right, so if you're onto Fraser at low tide, and we had I suppose a benefit because it had been raining, so the sand wasn't very soft. It was quite hard for most of it. And you know, you can get your caravan up to different places. Use it as a base. Some of the tracks I wouldn't be taking your caravan, especially on some of those inland roads. But after coming back, I went, yep, I think I could take Shelley over, take our JK cross track as well over there for a bit of comfort. So guys, before I finish up, as I said, it's just a quick video this time, just to let you know that I've got some things in the pipeline, and I've got a bit of work to do, which I was going to say I'm a one-man band. I'm not completely a one-man band, but I do my own filming, and I do my own editing. So sometimes if you're out making the videos, you kind of can't get back to put them together, because that takes a fair bit of time as well. Just before I finish up the video, I just wanted to let you know, if you're interested in supporting our channel, we do have a membership or patronage that we've got, and what I do is I get a video out a week before, and I take the ads off, so there's no ads on YouTube. So I've been keeping up with that, I think. I also try to put an extra one on there, just a bit more of a personal video as well. It just gives you a bit more background information on some of the things I'm up to. So you can do that for $3 a month. That's all. That's my basic tier. So $3 a month. After you've been a member for a month, I'll send you out some stubby coolers as well, and you'll get a video 1 week early with no ads, and you'll get an extra one in there put in as well. So now the Prado's back to good working order. I'm going to be out a bit more now, doing some more tracks, and getting out there camping. I've got a whole bunch of combinations to do, haven't I? I've got a cross track there. I've got the camping that we did on Fraser, which is just a swag and a stretcher, and built into some more fall driving. Yes, so that's what's coming up. Exciting. It's exciting. I love it. So I'll leave it there, guys, and leave us a comment as well down below. And as I said, go back, have a look, check out some of my other videos, and we will see you on the next one. So Fraser Island is in the making as we speak. Cheers, guys.